First off, happy 3 years to Chris Jericho. Second off, I feel so bad for Rich Holland. I hope that he's okay. If you don't know, he basically was trying to catch, I believe it was Oney Larkin last night on NXT, and he twisted his ankle. It's looking like an ankle or leg injury, but it was definitely real, and I feel so terrible. So, speedy recovery for whatever the injury is. I'm pretty sure by the time this video goes up, we'll know it, because I'm recording it the night before. But yeah. And we had an amazing dog collar match. Oh my god. We gotta talk about it. New episode of Kimmy Talks Wrestling, starting right now. So obviously the whole theme of tonight was the 30-year anniversary of Chris Jericho. So all throughout the night there was all these clips and montages of people, you know, congratulating him. One of the New Japan wrestlers, I'm going to botch his name, and I'm so sorry, Tanahashi sent one in, which was kind of interesting. And they started the show with all the AEW wrestlers just like, you know, saying how much Jericho influenced them, and he wouldn't be there, like they wouldn't be in AEW without Jericho, and how he paved the way for everybody. And it was really nice. You know, we'll get to the end where all the credits are just Jericho because I find it so funny. But this was a really nice way to kick off, you know, such a momentous occasion. 30 years, that's a really long time. That's like way longer than I've been alive. So we start the night with Brian Cage versus Will Hobbs for the FTW Championship. Taz and Ricky Starks are on commentary, and it was actually kind of funny because JR like kind of botched like this intro because I believe he was supposed to announce Ricky Starks first, and he was like, and we have Taz, and Taz like, Ricky Starks is here, JR, and I was like, okay bro, we gotta calm down. JR making at least 1 or 2 botches every single week. Love him though, he's the reason I want to be a commentator, but JR, come on. So this match was really good. It was kind of technical, and like we talked about in NXT, I'm not really a big technical type of person, but this really showed like how good Hobbs is. I haven't really seen Hobbs I don't watch AEW Dark, so I haven't really seen him. So this was a really good showing to show us like who Hobbs is and what kind of his style is. So Cage did a really good job with this. Brian Cage gets the win, and Taz gets a promo saying that Hobbs, he was really impressive and he had a hard-fought match, and he gives them a chance to join Team Taz, or Cage and Starks are going to beat him up. Darby Allin comes out, and Starks and Cage run away, and Taz says Allin's going to learn one day to get out of everyone's business. I like this though. I like this pairing. I like what we're doing here. I definitely think Allin is going to be someone who is going to be a TNT Champion and someday an AEW World Heavyweight Champion. But I like how we're like starting this mini feud here and like building tag teams, because hey guys, we have a tag team division in this company. We don't have that in WWE, so we gotta be grateful for what we have. So next we have a package promoting next week's main event, which is Lance Archer versus Jon Moxley for the AEW Championship, because next week is the anniversary show. Happy 1 year, guys. So Lance says that this isn't the first time that he and Moxley have wrestled each other. They wrestled each other in Japan, I believe, last January. I could be wrong. But it was for the New Japan United States Championship, and that next week he's going to win the title and he's going to defeat Moxley. I really hope this doesn't happen, but in the slim chance it does, I won't be too mad. I'll be annoyed, but I won't be too angry. Next we have FTR versus TH2, and you know, the whole FTR 20-minute tag match rule, and it's all, you know, FTR's, you know, rules of being a tag team. So the Young Bucks are watching on TV in the back, and the finisher was kind of like a poke at the Bucks. This was also a really good match. I love AEW's tag team matches. I think they really utilize the tag team division really well, especially a team like TH2, who hasn't really been utilized on Dynamite and have been more of a dark team, or someone that really hasn't been used at all. And I think with these FTR Open Challenges, I think you're going to see a lot of newer tag teams kind of make their name for themselves and really be possible contenders once FTR loses the belts, which shouldn't be anytime soon, but you know, when we get there. This was a really good showing. So the Bucks, at the end of the match, they show the Bucks backstage, and they're like, has this camera guy been spying on us the whole time? Oh my god, like what? And they super kick the cameraman, and Mac was in his pocket. He's like, oh my god, Nick, I left my wallet. Like, can you cover this? What is it, $10,000? And, like, they just walk away without even throwing $10,000. So then, there's this picture that pops up of FTR in hot dog costumes, and the best friends come out, and the best friends are like, do you know what we're calling you? We're calling you weenies. You are weenies. Then the best friends are number one contenders because last week they walked away from them, saying that they were sore and they needed time to rest up. But before they went out there, they got approval from Tony Khan that next week on the anniversary show is going to be the best friends versus FTR. Normal tag rules. It's not going to be the 20 minutes. It's going to be the full hour. And then a brawl breaks out, and the best friends stand tall with the tag titles. I don't think FTR should lose the titles this early. As big of a fan as I am in best friends, and I know that they're going to get their time soon, don't let FTR. If FTR is going to lose the titles, it has to be the Bucks. Those, I believe, is the only believable team that makes sense. If you're going to have another team beat them, no. Best friends, I swear, like, when the Bucks win, you guys should be the ones to beat them, but I'm sorry, not this early. Not this early. MJF then says that he's looked up to Chris Jericho so much, and he's learned so much from him, and he doesn't know who he'd be if it wasn't for Jericho. And, when we get to the main event, he might be there to celebrate with Jericho. And we're gonna get there. Promise. This dog collar match was honestly, I think, the best match of the week. And that's including, like, TakeOver, Raw, and Tonight. Oh my god. So, if you did not watch Dynamite, this is a match I 10 out of 10 recommend you watching. This was so hard-hitting from out the bat. I think Cody started bleeding 10 minutes in. And, the Dark Order got involved, and I was shocked Cody won. I didn't think Cody was going to win. I didn't think they were going to put the title back on him, and they just did. And he won, Cody won clean. And, Tony goes to the ring and does his interview, and Cody says, nothing is better than competing in front of this live crowd, and, people have told me just because I changed my hair color that I should take that dark path and basically turn heel, but he's always going to stick to the fans and until the end, and he lives to be a pro wrestler, and he's going to defend the TNT title next week because he's just so inspired. And Tony's like, I wonder who that will be against. You just see in the corner, you see Orange Cassidy, and Orange Cassidy does his little thumbs up, and then Cody does his thumbs up, and it's like, yes! Thank you. I'm very excited. I don't know if this means that they're putting the title on Cassidy, because like I said, I was very shocked that Cody did win. I think it would be huge, especially since Cassidy got the win over Jericho. If Cody's the one to, put Cassidy over to be the TNT Champion, it would be something I'm very interested in doing, because I do believe that there's going to be one day Cassidy does win that title. But this was good. This is a really good match. Definitely watch it. Omega interview next. So, we're building up to that No One Contenders tournament. I don't know when it's leading up to Full Gear, but they didn't say when it's starting. I also don't know when Full Gear, I'm assuming Full Gear is sometime in November. I just don't know when. So, whenever this tournament starts, Kenny says that he has won every single tournament he's been in, and it's going to be something that you have your eyes on because there's just so many good matches, and, the whole thing is, they announced that Paige was going to be in it. And, Kenny's saying, it doesn't matter if it's a world champion wrestler or just tag team wrestler that I'm going to beat. I'm going to be the one to win. I'm going to take the title off of Moxley, and I'm going to be that person that's going to be the AEW champion that everyone said I was destined to be the day that this company opened. I definitely see Omega as probably a top contender to win, especially with the names that they announced. I believe the names they announced was Pentagon, Kenny, Colt Cabana, Wardlow, Paige. I'm missing someone. I don't know who the other name is. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I think the finals are going to come down to Kenny and Omega, and I think Kenny's going to win. So I would love to see it at Full Gear, Omega and Moxley. Hopefully we get there. Hopefully. Big Swole versus Serena Deeb next. This was a really good match. It was I was also kind of shocked because at this point we had 20 minutes left, and I was like, is Jericho really going to have a 10-minute match in this whole show that's dedicated to him? And he had a 12-minute main event, so it was okay. But this match was really good. It really showed the women's division. I want more, we've talked about that, and everyone's talked about how AEW is so struggling with their women's division because it, like, does not exist. Like, it does and it doesn't. And this is a prime example. When was the last time we've seen Shida on Dynamite? 2 or 3 weeks ago? She's the champion. We see Asuka wrestling every single week on Raw, and we see Bayley in feature segments every week on SmackDown. You know? So I definitely think that you, like, it's been a year. You need to create a better women's division because it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Like, they announced a Big Swole, like, the number 2 contender for the title. Who was number 1? It's not Britt. Anyway, this match was really good. This match was good. But definitely, with Deeb down there, I think you need to have her in charge of the women's division. Because clearly Brandy can't do her job. So if you have her and Brandy work together, you can do it. I believe in you. Next, Moxley cuts a promo saying he can't celebrate the 1-year anniversary because everyone's gunning for him. Because when you're the champion, everyone's gunning for you. He knows that back in whenever they had that match, like I said, I think it was January, but I could be wrong. You don't simply just defeat Lance Archer, you have to survive. And he barely survived with, his teeth in his mouth. And, he doesn't care who's next after Archer, who wins that tournament, but he's going to be the one that defeats Archer, and he's going to be the one to defeat whoever wins that tournament. I really hope Moxley wins. I think Archer is definitely a viable contender, but I feel like it's just too early to put the title on him. I feel as if, although you've built him up, I feel like besides the Casino Battle Royal, I feel like there's no key match he's won. He lost to Cody. I feel like you have to beat a main star to then beat Moxley. And he hasn't done that yet. I'm not saying that Archer's never going to win the title, because it definitely is going to happen, but I just feel like it's too early. If they make that decision, I'd be very shocked. So please keep the title on Moxley. Please, on him, please. Him and Omega, full gear. Him and Omega, full gear. Think about it. Just think about it. And next we had that main event. So like I said, this maybe lasted about 12 to 10 minutes. And I was very shocked that it was short. But, it looked like it was a fun match for Jericho. It was very easy to watch. Jericho and Hager have really good chemistry. That's another tag team I would love to see with the tag titles. The Bucks have to do it first, but they would be a team I'd love to see the tag titles on. But this was good, especially because I really haven't seen Serpentico a lot. So it was cool to see him on Dynamite because, I think they also mentioned this too. He's mainly in AEW Dark, so if you don't watch AEW Dark, you don't know who he is. So Jericho and Hager win, then Jericho starts to thank the fans, and MJF shows up, and he says that he's not here to steal the spotlight, he's here to, he's here to respect Jericho, and he wants to be a part of the celebration. So he gives him a gift, so there's this clown in the ring. And the clown has a gift in his hand, and, next week, MJF's going to make this career-defining announcement, which I'm assuming is going to start the feud between MJF and Jericho, because I don't know what else is. And he wants Jericho there. So then Jericho, what the gift is, it's this, 18 by 24 portrait of MJF. Okay, bro. So cocky. Love it, though. And he puts the picture over the clown. Judas affects the clown. And Jericho's like, 1, I don't like clowns. 2, don't ever interrupt me again. And there's this brief moment of tension. They're laughing at each other, and then they're like, good night everybody, and then the whole roster comes out with the bubbly, and they're all celebrating, and they do the Saturday Night Live end credits, and everything is Jericho. He did catering, he did all the cameras, he did the production, and it was just such a fun way. It was such a Jericho thing. Such a Jericho thing. This is a really good episode of AEW. I feel, besides the women's match, I feel like everything just, made sense and, fell into place. The storylines are great. The matches are great. And, yeah. It was a fun time. The draft is in 2 days. Scary. If you've watched The Bump and you saw the mock draft, Rollins was not even in the mock draft, so that's #rude. But I'm very excited to see. They have not come out with a pool yet. I had planned on making a video of who I wanted to see go where, but they have not put out the pool of who's eligible. There was a report saying there's 80 people eligible, which is a huge increase from last year. I think last year the number was 9:45-ish. So, yeah, so if they release a poll tomorrow or Friday morning, I'm going to try to shoot a video to say who I want where, but if they don't, I'll see you guys Saturday where we review the first night of the draft. And, make sure to like this video, comment your reaction to AEW Dynamite, click that bell for notifications, and I will see you either sometime before the draft or Saturday morning. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Kimmy Talks Wrestling.